I've won 17 of my last 25 complimentary plays, basketball and football combined. Free selection for your Monday night card coming up in just a moment on Orlando and Memphis. Of course, Super Bowl hysteria officially kicks off today as both teams arriving in Dallas. And you know what this means, guys. Every day you're going to open up your newspaper, you're going to turn on TV, you're going to listen to the radio, and you're going to hear about one human interest story after another because there's absolutely nothing good to talk about other than meaningless crap that means nothing, means absolutely nothing in regard to the game on Sunday between the Packers and the Steelers. But you gotta fill up all that time somehow. I mean, personally, I absolutely hate the extra week between the conference championships and Super Bowl Sunday for two reasons. One, you're going to be subjected to all these worthless stories. They got to fill up the newspaper somehow. They've got to fill up the time somehow. So ESPN's going to be there live with one worthless interview after another every single day. And two, you had two teams that are playing at peak performance, 2 Sundays ago. Now you've given them an extra week off. How many times during the regular season do you see a team come out of the bye and look flat? How many times do you see first round bye teams in the postseason come out in their opening game and look discombobulated, flat? Oh, you're thinking of the New England Patriots the past 2 years? Gee, yes, that's exactly one of those teams. But it happens all the time. And sometimes you just wish they would go right in and play the damn game the following Sunday so you could just have the best performances out there. Not to say the Super Bowl will be dull or anything. You've got two quality teams, but still, that extra week, just get it over with. It would be wonderful, but we know for money reasons it's never going to happen. Super Bowl Sunday, by the way, biggest mistake I ever made betting the Super Bowl was the Giants-Patriots game. At the time, I was doing TV up in New York. I happened to follow the Giants, obviously, nonstop that year, and I really had my finger on the pulse of that team, and I liked the Giants in that game. And, of course, you know the deal there. Patriots undefeated. The Giants win the Super Bowl, knocking them off. So I had the Giants, and I won the game. My mistake? Not making a small wager on the Giants on the money line. They were like 3.5 to 4. Plus 3.5 to 4 there on the, in terms of the odds. Stupid mistake. And it's just something to always consider in the Super Bowl. In retrospect, wonderful thing to realize, I made an error going into the game. Did I think the Giants could win? Not necessarily. I thought they certainly could cover. But, it would have been a prudent investment strategy to make a smaller wager on the money line. So in big games, that's something I always consider, looking in, not only the NFL either. I mean, any big game sometimes also looking at the money line price. Proposition plays. Let's talk about them with the Super Bowl. You're going to see that there's 200 to 400 of them. The ones in Vegas, of course, all have to deal with actual game conditions. And there's the esoteric ones you can bet offshore. Jesus, I made a reputation about telling you who's going to, whether the national anthem is going to go over or under the posted total. I've won it each of the last 4 years. It's not rocket science. But remember what proposition plays are all about. And I'll give you this analogy. For years, I worked my way through college by selling high-end stereo equipment. Well, when a customer would come in and buy the actual stereo receiver, for example, that was near bottom line dollar. There wasn't a lot of profit. It was the add-ons, the suggestive sell items. That's where we as salespeople and the company overall made money. That's what proposition plays are, okay? There's a lot of guys out there that think, I can take advantage. I can play one sportsbook against another. I can middle this price versus that price. But prop plays are all designed to put money in the pockets of sportsbooks. Now, nearly a third of the actual revenue here in Vegas that will come in for the Super Bowl will be based on prop plays. Everybody loves them. Ask yourself how many of them win. It's hard as hell to win those things, guys. Listen, it's hard enough to pick who's going to win between the Packers and the Steelers on Sunday. Do you really want to get involved playing esoteric prop bets? And grant you, there are a few good ones out there. There always are. But do you want to take the time and do you want to really go and put your money on prop plays? If they're smaller wagers, maybe. You're probably better off betting the total, right? I mean, you might be better off betting the first half of the game than betting whether or not a player wearing a number between 32 or 41 is going to be the first to score, or whether or not the Packers and Steelers go 7 minutes or more without putting any points on the board in the opening part of the game. I mean, seriously, I think prop plays are for fools, but God bless you all. And believe me, when I do interviews, people always ask about the prop plays. Do I wager on them? No. Bottom line. Let's get to your free pick. Guys, listen, the Orlando Magic are a 1.5-point favorite at Memphis tonight. I don't think the Magic are going to win this game. You know, they're coming off a 103-87 win yesterday against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Big deal. The Cavaliers lost 20 straight games. But 19 turnovers for the Magic and 95 possessions in that game. 19 turnovers, 95 possessions for Orlando, right? Sure, they dominated the boards in that game. Who shouldn't? I mean, they out-rebounded the Cavaliers 61-35, and Dwight Howard in 3 quarters had 20 boards and 20 points. Ryan Anderson continuing his outstanding play with 23 points and 16 rebounds. But what concerns me in looking at the box score of this game is that against probably the worst defense in the NBA, the Magic only could shoot 41.3% from the field, and they're still not getting any production from their wingmen. I mean, Jason Richardson and Hedo Turkoglu yesterday combined 8 for 24 for the field and for a combined 21 points. Jameer Nelson, of course, got hurt in the Chicago game on Friday night, a road loss. Did play 24 minutes or so. I think it was 28 minutes yesterday because of a strained knee. Certainly not at 100%. And Gilbert Arenas, he may never be at 100%, you know. And if that's your backup at point guard, personally, I think you got problems here for the Magic. You got a Memphis team that rallied from 21 points down in the third quarter to beat Philadelphia on Friday night, then came home and hammered the Washington Wizards, which they should do, 107-93 in their next game. They have won 5 of their last 6 straight up. They're playing with a lot of confidence. They've always played well at home against the Magic, winning 2 straight and 7 of the last 8 games at home against them. And in that 8-game period at home, they've only allowed an average of 89.6 points a game to the Magic, who, of course, are playing their 4th game in 6 days, 3rd road game in that 6-day stretch as well. So again, I think the Memphis Grizzlies are going to be the play here. You know, they beat up Washington despite Rudy Gay having a miserable shooting game. They're getting consistent production from Marc Gasol and Zach Randolph in the pivot. You know, there's only one Dwight Howard. And, you know, he's going to have his hands full with Randolph and Gasol, 2 big bodies on him. So, again, I think Memphis wins this game, and that's going to be your free pick. Good luck, everybody, and catch you again on Tuesday.